Brighton, Galatasaray, Man City, Newcastle, and now Bournemouth have all scored 3 times at Old Trafford this season. The former fortress is now so easily penetrated. And today's result, that result against Bournemouth, is the most significant. It's huge. It's Bournemouth's greatest ever result. But for Manchester United, it is one of the most significant because this is the result that confines Erik ten Hag to the ash heap of history. Erik ten Hag will be sacked by Manchester United fairly soon. I am so confident. There is no way that this can continue. There is no way that he can keep his job. There is no way that Erik ten Hag can be at the helm for the long haul. This project is over. Erik ten Hag will be losing his job. I am convinced. Is it fair? Definitely not. Is it just? Absolutely not. Is it correct? Probably not. But football is an unjust game. It is not a meritocracy. It is not fair. And Erik ten Hag, unfortunately for him, is going to have to pay the price. I believe that he is a symptom of a club that is failing. He was almost set up to fail. But there is just no way that he can keep his job when the players are so clearly not buying into him. They are clearly not adopting his philosophy. And when the players turn, there is nothing that can be done. Trust me, I'm a Chelsea fan. By the way, how bad must Chelsea be? This Manchester United team looked like Sir Alex Ferguson's treble winners the other night. And Bournemouth, Iraola, a round of applause, has played them off the pitch. But for Ten Hag, I truly believe it's over. And as a Chelsea fan, let me just shed a bit of light that I think Chelsea fans can speak on really, really correctly. We are well versed. We have seen it all before. When a group of players stop buying into a manager, regardless of how brilliant that manager is, regardless of whether that manager deserves to be sacked, the manager cannot continue. There have been countless excellent managers in their peak, who have lost their jobs because a crop of fairly average, distinctly average sometimes, footballers stop buying into them, stop trying, stop adopting the philosophy, and stop working as hard as they should. And I believe that has happened at Manchester United. That crop of players are not fighting for the badge, they aren't fighting for the fans, and they most certainly are not fighting for the manager. Now look, Ten Hag has made some very brave decisions. And you know what? I respect him. I like him to a degree. I think he's more limited than some people think he is, but I also think that there is nothing that he can do at that club. But some of the decisions that he made, I believe, could be haunting him. Having Marcus Rashford on the bench could be the one. Jadon Sancho, his handling of that, maybe that is going to contribute to his downfall. Raphael Varane, who knows? There are far too many incidents where he has fallen out with players. And Jadon Sancho's approach to this is very revealing. You could tell that Jadon Sancho knew exactly what he was doing. He knew that he believed at least that he could outlive Erik ten Hag at Manchester United. Jadon Sancho, he wasn't desperate to get back in the first team. He wasn't ready to apologise. He left his comments as his pinned tweet. That is the disrespect that he had for Ten Hag. And, if not Ten Hag, simply the office of Manchester United manager. You have to respect the office of being Manchester United manager, if not the individual in charge. And the lack of respect for that office, and therefore for Ten Hag, shows us that Sancho believes that he can outlive Ten Hag. And I believe a lot of these players are now at a stage where they believe that they can outlive the manager. So what's the point? There's no leadership. I couldn't believe Bruno Fernandes today getting himself booked. So he now misses the Liverpool game. What sort of team is that? What sort of leader is he? How can he possibly do that? And now that is another example as to why I think it's so unjust that Ten Hag will lose his job. But the players, quite simply, are not fighting for him. And it really is that simple. Erik ten Hag will be replaced because today was diabolical from Manchester United. I mean, there have been some very bad, abject performances from Manchester United this season, but this one, undoubtedly, the worst performance of the season from them. Like, there have been some shockers. It's been a dreadful season for Manchester United. But I think today's performance was about as bad as it could possibly be, and about as bad as it has been. They are a club that are all over the place. They make no sense. They didn't come close to scoring a goal today at home to Bournemouth. They went away to the Allianz and scored 3. They looked like a team in total and utter disarray today. And yet, they look like Ferguson's treble winners against Chelsea. Nothing makes sense. There's no continuity. There's no sense of leadership. There's none of the values that you demand from a football team. Like, in terms of cohesion, team spirit, unity, fight, hunger, determination, urgency, aggression. Bournemouth won every single one of those conversations. Bournemouth were intense. Manchester United were most certainly not. And the contrast between Bournemouth and Manchester United just showed you everything that you need to know. And you look at the record of Manchester United this season. Like, it's their 11th defeat in 23 games in all competitions. 7 defeats in the Premier League. 7 out of 16. 7 out of 16. They're not far off losing 50% of their Premier League games. How can Erik ten Hag possibly survive? You look at Manchester United's front three. I'm serious. Dom Solanke was the best forward on the pitch. Think of the money that has been spent on Manchester United. Like Anthony Martial was playing. How is Anthony Martial still a Manchester United player? And when we analyse something like this is why it's so unjust on Ten Hag. Ten Hag will lose his job, I believe that. But I also believe that it's so unjust. How can Anthony Martial still be a Manchester United player? How? How can Victor Lindelof still be a Manchester United player? Do you remember when Liverpool battered Manchester United 5-0? One of the overriding images, it was years ago, right? My overriding image of that day was Lindelof all over the place. How can he still be at the club? It's woeful. But you know what? A word on Bournemouth. I thought that they were splendid today. They did incredibly well. And look, Iraola, his time at Bournemouth was sort of slow to start, wasn't it? But he really has got going and the momentum is up. And I heard Dom Solanke speaking after the game where he basically said that they feel like they can beat anyone. They feel invincible. And that's 4 wins in 5 league games for them. And do you know what? All over the pitch, they excelled. They were so much better than Manchester United from top to bottom. But I believe that today is the day that Ten Hag effectively lost his job. Regardless of how it goes from here, I just do not see a world where he can possibly survive. They were so bad, they were so woeful, everything is gone wrong, and they have the little matter of Bayern Munich. Now look, Bayern Munich got battered today themselves, they lost 5-1, but Manchester United are going into a game at Old Trafford against Bayern Munich where they need goals and they need to win. And when you look at the performance today, where are they coming from? Martial? Definitely not. Anthony? Woeful today. I mean, Garnacho, he was terrible in the first half, wasn't he? You know, slightly better after half-time maybe, but the other two weren't. So I just don't see how they have any hope of beating Bayern Munich and getting anything out of that game. But for Ten Hag, it's back to the drawing board. But for how long, I really do not know. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really do want to hear your thoughts on this. Do you agree with me? Do you think Ten Hag is now done, even if that is totally unjust for him? Please let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Click subscribe as well. I'd love to welcome you into this community. Thanks for watching.